Alrighty. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Providence Cup Group D match. We have CX Punk Mark III versus Xbox Master Race. I'm joined by InForFun as well today. How you doing, InForFun? Not too bad. Thankfully, I have you here as a co-caster, and you're our admin today as well, if I'm not mistaken, so... Impossible. As long as the players show up, nobody's at fault. Oh, I can... Oh, I can see our levels going up. What the hell? That usually is my one tell. What else? Oh, what in God's name is Discord capturing? Okay. Yeah, it's capturing a window audio, which I've never seen audio capture beta. What the hell is that? That's new to me.
Yeah, Crudy added the Discord audio there. So it's from Discord, which might need us some other way to,
Should
I
be
don't know,
okay
record.
now. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
nice.
cool though. That OBS is trying stuff like that. Audio output capture from certain sources. Windows is really useful. And in the time it took me to fix that, the spin's already here, and I guess I'll kick it off since you are
Sure.
admin. But we have Don Yates Shears in the suit and Tamara Vidal shotgun as the sommelier, which is an interesting one. Suit doesn't have to actually be uh, brought into this map. You don't have to start as it because there's a wetsuit, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's a suit spin still potentially meta as straightforward as you want, and Louis straight in probably just one changing his loadout from random agency pickup to a shotgun and loaded in as Waiter, but Punk with the suit start and will pick up the shears on its way. I think a very quick dawn kill is on the cards there.
Yeah, it's both starts are debatable. I would have liked to see Lewis maybe isolate Tamara, go straight for the sommelier and the shotgun and get that kill, and then go up and isolate Yates. But the timing's gonna be a lot more generous for Punk, I think, because getting Yates pretty early is always a good approach on this map. He's a really tough target if you leave him after a couple of minutes.
There's not there's not even any need to isolate and come back later because Punk showing that the shears are right there next to the Guardian Shadow. So at 45 seconds, and that even includes some wait until
Might
the
even get the
Enforcer,
kickstart, but
there will be this KO and then the kill very shortly after.
Oh, and I noticed Lewis does have. He's probably in the VC, of course, with his teammates, so I will turn him down, but maybe we can tune in every now and then, see what their comms are like, because it's always fun to hear that.
Yeah, sounds good. Just let me know and I'll keep quiet.
No worries. But yeah, Lewis did make it up pretty quickly as well. Almost the same time as Chris, I guess like 10 or so seconds, but the fact that Lewis has Tamara down as well is pretty nice. I guess the suit is the only difference.
Yeah, the suit is the big difference here, the one kill difference so far. And after that, we will see the same. For me, it's synced, of course.
Yeah, it's very synced
Plays
for me
are
right
synced.
now. Almost identical. Oh, but Punk left the body on the chair and he saw it through the window. That common Mendoza rip. Oh,
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
it, it's a cautionary tale of everyone just still trying to keep her on the floor and not in the chair to eliminate the chance even of the mercenary thing. It doesn't always happen, so definitely an unlucky moment for Punk. But the first restart.
Yeah, first restart for Punk, and that's always a bit demoralizing at the very beginning because you don't want to rip because you're always going to assume your opponent doesn't because you always
Yeah,
assume they're the most perfect human athlete when you're playing against them. I'm sure it'll
it's
be
just
fine.
roulette.
Exactly. And I did forget the prediction. Apologies, but I did pay back that prediction from earlier for people wondering, as the match didn't go ahead.
Yeah,
Nonetheless,
very much
so
looking forward.
what do you think? Do you think any major hiccups? I guess Punk isn't getting Tamara first. He's sticking with the suit, so he's probably going to go for some seeker stuff for Tamara, the bathroom shenanigans we always see.
In the bathroom, which can be difficult, but with just one seeker shot, I think Punk could do it very nicely. He has until almost 3 minutes in game time until he can make the seeker shot on her. So I think when he's going to grab the mercenary now, he will head straight to the reception. And that will make it a fairly straightforward second half of the spin.
And yeah, look at this from Lewis as well. He got the wetsuit and he seated both those guards. Super safe, and I love it. It's really nice. Oh, but was that crazy? That seeker bubble looked like an exclamation point for a moment. I thought something might have happened.
Because that was, and I'm very interested to see if this turns back to green guns because I
Oh, it
believe Lewis
is.
was for trespassing
Oh no. Oh, and he was.
and now he's hunted.
Ah, that's so important. I thought the circle was just rotated somehow, like with the perspective, but I don't think that's how they work. So yeah, that's a very unfortunate rip. I couldn't have predicted that for him. I didn't know he could get caught trespassing when you're already in the area. if that makes sense, and then you walk past him.
The fact that they are checkpoint guards and they are guarding the upper half of the staircase, and the fact that Forrester went through that part, I think that makes the difference because checkpoint guards are kind of a different breed, sadly.
Oh wow, yeah, that's something I didn't know myself personally, but really good to know. Put that in the sheet straight away.
Yeah, big setback for Lewis. His strat was, I would say, a couple of minutes slower than Punk's to start with, so he definitely won't appreciate this restart.
Yeah,
Punk.
that was a really bad restart for Lewis in terms of how much time was invested into it. So Punk is a massive lead, I think, because of that.
Yeah, but basically the Somalia grab remaining for the X-Punk, and we can see a more remote approach, which we haven't seen a lot lately.
Yeah, he looked a bit like anguished there. He was shaking his camera. It looked like, I don't know, he was worried for a moment, but maybe he should be okay.
Yeah, I'm curious because from the picture-in-picture, I wouldn't be sure if that was successful or not because the Somalia will come to that panel, and the interesting part of the grab is which route he takes, and maybe that's possible to see from the picture-in-picture. I'm not sure, but Punk will have to do this isolation as well and to take care of the last guard who is guarding Tamara herself.
Yeah, it's quite an annoying guard to deal with. And he has that very smart intelligence where the minute she's knocked out in that room, he'll just leave. But yeah, you have to get rid of him first.
Nice bullet distraction, making things easier, and now just hammering the instinct to see where the Somalia is. I think he's right there at the panel now, so kind of in a public area.
Oh yeah, and that's a tough shot. Oh, we placed that. Well, bubblegum would be nice here, but could be a bit risky. I'm not sure if those guards can spot it. They probably can, so this isn't a daily spin.
Yeah, all Punk needs is now just one KO and could do it in this hallway. He just went back for the crowbar for one last melee item.
Yeah, looks really good for Punk right now. Hopefully he gets that Tango exit, but I don't think it's going to matter much for him because even if he went to the vineyard, he'd probably be pretty good in terms of time against Lewis, who is going down for the suit, but too little too late with that big rip he had earlier.
Yeah, I guess we can see one more try from Luis, seeing how he infiltrated. I think if you wait a bit more, and this would have been very nice for Luis, but just something that you don't expect, you don't think about, like what those guards would do there.
Yeah, to be fair, trespassing and seeker and stuff like that, it is very strange. It's not a very familiar circumstance, so I'm sure Lewis won't forget it after it happening now. But yeah, that is going to be Punk taking it. I guess we have to wait for the verification of the 5 stars, but usually it's fine.
Usually it's fine, but not always, as one more exclamation point from
Oh,
Luis.
wow, that one's surprising. I feel like the guard wasn't really looking at him.
It's kind of psychic at that point, and the fact that that guard was sick, if I saw it correctly on the replay,
Yeah, he
but
definitely was,
still
yeah.
with the exclamation mark, it just sadly can't mess with them, and perfect timing for these two actions to happen at the same time. There's the 5-star finish from Punk's side, and CX Punk takes the first map.
Yeah, very nice from Punk there. Did have an unfortunate rip, but doesn't matter as long as you beat your opponent, and that's going to be 2 points for them. Their first points of this group stage as well. And I suppose we should quickly swap over these streams. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long.
Yeah, I got my own admin work there, which is I'm staying quiet here, but there's the first. Oh, yeah, team has won Mendoza. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
We both do, and both of us have to finish before both
Oh,
of them.
forgot Lewis had his stuff up. So yeah, we have Chris and Soviet this time.
Yes.
Going to be another really good one. And we're going to be moving on to Haven, which is not a map you'd want to be playing if you're the Xbox Master Race, but I'm sure they don't mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna mention it in a moment that Haven is definitely a significant map for these weeks, at least before the next patch. Due to the fact that it's different. It's going to be different on both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to be fine now. So 2.5 minutes until the second spin. So yeah, coming back to that fact, obviously that's something we were talking about. The fact that players may not have the same map to play, which is I think something that's definitely worth mentioning for competitive integrity or for any tournament really. But what we ended up is with no official guideline on infinite bans or just removing the map from the map pool. Just left it for the teams to mention it, and it was CX Punk's map, but it wasn't banned, of course, early on. So yeah, just curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, same. It's going to be interesting. I do feel like even with that Stingray vision, that kind of makes the map different. It doesn't come into play as much, and even the PC players are still a bit muscle memory when it comes to how you're meant to knock out Tyson and stuff, and dragging him and dumping guards and boxes so nobody's left out in the open. So I'm sure everybody's still going to clean up after themselves when they're have that phantom pain of all the wall hacks.
PTSD for most.
Yeah, exactly.
Who hasn't ripped in Mendoza because of wall hacks?
Exactly. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. And this is our final 1v1. Then we'll be going on to some 2v2s, which I love the 2v2s. It's the slogan of the Providence Cup for me. I really like to see it going well. As it really comes, it's a weird dynamic. You never really see many tournaments or competitions where you're really dependent on your teammate like this. Like you can play amazingly, but you don't really want to let down your teammate, and I don't know, it's a weird feeling, and I'm curious to see if they are able to deal with that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the second two maps. But it was just, of course, another thing we were talking about, like which format to use, and of course the team roulette events, which were the one day events in the last 2 years. We were using all these formats, and we liked some aspects of the 1v1, so we kept it. But obviously, the majority of the tournament will be 2v2, and I just cannot wait to see how they handle it today, and of course, in general, in the next 4 weeks after this day.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see, and I'm gonna quickly get a prediction up because people always ask me, and I always forget. I will end it pretty soon into the spin, as it's 10 seconds away, but I'll give you the choice nonetheless. And of course, I took the first one in for fun, so if you want, you can do the honors for Haven.
Gladly. So second spin here is Tyson Williams, Machete as the butler, Stephen Bradley, Explosion Accident as the snorkel instructor, and Ludmila Vetrova, Assault Rifle as a lifeguard.
Very nice, and I love how my overlay. It looked amazing. I just did a picture of a cloud for Tyson and a pole for Stephen Bradley, and I loved the idea of that. But yeah, what a spin! A lot of stuff to grab.
It's definitely looking like an annoying spin. So commiserations, kind of. Butler is unique, Snorkel is unique, and Lifeguard is virtually unique, so we won't see a lot of variations on the disguise grabs, but a lot of mandatory points of this spin that people have to meet, so I'm curious to see how it goes.
And yeah, I was going to ask, I'm not much of a Haven fanatic. Where's the machete off the top of your head? Because I cannot recall it.
Top of my head, I don't know either. I need to think about it a
I have
couple
no clue.
seconds. That's horrible. I'm already losing my patience here. I think it would be in the private island in one of the.
I think you are correct. Yeah, I think you are correct.
And in the guard room as well.
Oh,
That's the more drivable one. Thank you, Reaper.
yeah, very nice. That's a very niche item that doesn't show up very often. So, yeah, seems like it's in both the guard room and the island. According to chat, he's always right. You can always rely on them. But yeah, this lead right now, I guess, barely a lead, we'll call it. Chris is doing the Tyson ISO, whereas Soviet started Suit and is going to get Tyson instead. I don't know if there was a benefit to that beginning.
It's not going to be Tyson, it seems. I was curious if it's going to be any peekaboo or isolation Tyson, but it is going to be a full-on server lore with the emetic flower grabbed already, and yeah, he's
Oh,
going all the way down there.
wow. Yeah, there's going to be still a bit of disguise grabbing, if I'm not mistaken. That snorkel instructor and lifeguard aren't going to run over as well, so it's going to be interesting to see the comparison of both the strats here.
Yeah, generally, server lore is the most powerful with 2 or more Villa disguises. With just 1, it's, I would say it comes down to which strat Soviet prefers, and he doesn't want to deal with Tyson at a different timing, so just going to bring down
Oh,
everyone.
he used the wrong flower. he
Oh,
he poisoned everybody in the server room, so that's unfortunate.
boy, those non-targets. It's unfortunate, but also kind of funny to
Yeah,
see pop up.
I'm sure. I hope Soldiers finds that as funny as we do. But yeah, it's not too bad of a restart. But yeah, of course, when you're losing to your opponent's 2-0, you don't want to be doing things like that. Yeah, I'm curious. Was it a poisonous flower? He used a frog. Wow, he picked up a
Ah,
frog and used it. He must
oh,
have
of course.
jokingly picked it up on the way.
It it is usually picked up for joke on his way. We are going to see it after the coconut, and under this camera here, we'll go through in a couple of seconds, and there's a frog, and after there's the emetic flower. But it's sometimes just muscle memory to pick up everything, but it's just the one thing that
And he
could
avoids
cause
it this
trouble.
time. Yeah, unfortunate for Soviet, but I'm sure he's going to get straight back into it. I don't expect any poison this time, mainly because he didn't pick it up. Chris is taking a bit of a break though. Curious if he's just conferring with his teammate GK.
Yeah, it could be just a general planning phase, because there are going to be 2 NPCs to make sick. And of course, the
Oh,
snorkel instructor could be done different way. And I think he has to be done different way after this missed thematic. Still 2 seekers remaining and
yeah. Now
2
maybe he's
targets
planning
remaining
on
after this.
doing a run and gun now because he does need one for Stephen and one for Ludmilla. So I'm curious how he's going to approach it. I'm guessing he's going to do some sort of run and gun, like drop it and just shoot it in a likely spot because he can't get him into the bathroom unless he does something fancy. Some emetic food for Ludmilla. I'd love to see it.
I think the run and gun would be the most sensible backup here. The problem with the different emetics for Ludmilla, I mean, I uh, I just wanted to see quickly if Chris had a emetic device, because that would be the only backup for Ludmilla, which really makes her quick. But if you just emetic her food, then he goes to the women's bathroom, so it's a bit more difficult to get rid of her that way. But Chris will just take the waiter disguise for proxy.
I think he's trying to get the propane as well. There's a propane in the room, if I'm not mistaken. So he's, but yeah, it could be for proxy. Could definitely be correct. Seems like it's both.
Yeah. So he's not just passing, but
Oh,
2 enforcers there, and it was the male who found him, because I thought that would be the safer option,
wow. Yeah,
because he went behind him. Oh, that's so unlucky.
yeah. That's super unfortunate. I don't think you can plan ahead for that. You just have to know that happens in that circumstance. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see a safer approach this time. Just like that, though, even with Soviet doing the poison by mistake at the beginning, he is 2.5 minutes in, and he has a bit of a waiting game now as they all run at different speeds. I know a few of them are faster than others.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of minutes until this server lore concludes, and of course that won't mean any kills so far. Just the 3 targets isolated. Still have to do some chips there, but Soviet confidently placing that briefcase, which should be seen by one of the targets, and then just easier luring that way.
Yeah, let's hope so. You gotta love that they did give them different running speeds for the sake of isolating them one by one. Because if they all arrived at the same time, that would be quite a pain to deal with. But yeah, he gets Stephen hooked on to the briefcase. Hopefully this knockout goes okay. Oh, I don't like the running guard.
Bit close for comfort with Tyson as well, but
Oh
no one
no.
else is looking this way.
Yeah, the subdue as well, just to make it even closer.
Yeah, Tyson is much closer than I would like. Can hide him behind here. At least I saw him be hidden last time. Ooh, Tyson
Oh,
sees the briefcase at the very last second.
yeah, bro had to take a double take there to make sure he saw it, but he did see it, which is good. So yeah, that's 2 targets down, and he's definitely happy with that now. Still Ludmilla to deal with, who I'm pretty sure is very slow when it comes to getting to the server place, but it gives you time to set up and grab some things.
Yeah, when you said that it's fine that everyone has different speeds, I was thinking of Ludmilla, who should really be just a bit quicker for this isolation to be better. But yeah, Soviet well on his way to get this triple ISO done. And I assume, I mean, it's always going to be hard with Steven explosion at the end. If he has a taser, probably going to be an exit kill there.
Yeah, I think he does have a taser, in fact, just as you say it. He used it for a couple of knockouts, so I hope that is his plan. Can't imagine any other use for it, as the other 2 kills aren't remote. We'll have to see. I'd like to see the remote kill done. Would save a lot of time with backtracking if you can exit a snorkel instructor.
You could take the snorkel exit. There's one more that pops up if you are disguised as one. But you would have to know the exact spot, which I wouldn't trust in a match.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know about that. That's complete news to me.
Unless I'm making it up. I hope someone can confirm or deny, but it's not far from the snorkel himself, but in the sand.
Oh, that subdue
Anyway.
scares me with the guard on the stairs. I always have a bit of a panic that they're going to hear it somehow.
Yeah, it's quite loud, but luckily not loud enough. And Soviet has his way out, still in his suit. Of course, hasn't got a KO on a non-target yet.
Oh, here we go as well. Kill for Chris. He did do the running gun with a taser onto Steven. So very nice. He did improv it pretty well. We were a bit invested in Soviet there for a little bit, I realized, but I'm curious if he got Ludmilla in that time that we were making sure Soviet's server lore went well.
Not with this timing yet. I think it just only got the snorkel and then the run and gun.
Yeah, seems
and
so.
Ludmilla is still at Portman, but
Soviet ripped. I didn't quite catch it. In the moment we look away again, something happens.
leaving the villa, the main gate of the villa, I suppose you are still trespassing for 2 steps, and that villa guard saw for both of those steps, and the meter just filled in, and that's, I think, 6 minutes, even 6 minutes of progress gone from Soviet.
Yeah, that really hurts. To do the whole server lore, get everybody, and then you just walk out the front gate and get spotted for it. The last moment you could have got caught.
Yeah, exactly at the part when it's just huge fetch quest for Soviet. I'm not sure who would be closer to finishing, because Chris is also looking good on the ISOs, and of course has 1 kill down, so I think either players would have been 2 to 3 minutes from finishing, and now Chris can just place the emetic device for a quick Ludmilla ISO.
Yeah, it should be pretty safe to do this. You know, you can actually place the emetic device on the under part of the step, and it's a lot smaller range, and it only catches her even if the guard is right behind her as well.
Insert to injury, a bit of a connection error for Soviet, lucky just a few seconds.
Yeah, Chris just has a bit of waiting now, and then it's gonna get pretty fast. He already has the machete, and he's in a decent disguise. He will have to go over and get lifeguard, which I think we'll get after this ISO. Shouldn't be too difficult to get.
Yeah, the quick way and the safe way, there are always, we'll talk about it, and how risky either could be, but yeah, Chris is just a bit waiting going on. Strangely enough, this resort guard is an enforcer to the villa guard, the bodyguard.
Yeah, strange. Very strange connections when it comes to guards. Like we said it time and time before, guards are some of the weakest disguises in terms of avoiding enforcers. But when it comes to carrying weapons, they're obviously the best. they kind of balance out.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, Ludmila's down, so it's now the trip for the live guard, and yeah, you can do the KO on him right there and just box him as soon as possible, but you can get full whoosh there from the live guards outside.
Yeah, very scary
So,
whoosh. We've had a lot of players have a couple of times, but it should be okay. It goes for the safest option, which is really nice to see. And actually, if you just for one second, I just have to correct something for 1 second if you're fun. So I'll
yes.
be better just mute my mic 1 sec.
Okay. Yeah, just a couple of seconds of action from Chris. It's a couple of seconds extra compared to the quick and sort of unsafe option. And now has the second disguise, and we'll have the second kill, only missing the butler and the machete. For Soviet, it's just sort of painful, unfortunate that that he's stuck with the same ISO again. Not that it's bad, but obviously that it's long, and that's not much you can do in the time between 3 and 6 minutes, and in these sort of specific chaos. Steven will be the first one to arrive again, of course, the quickest one of the three. Chris is also arriving, but at the villa with the machete as the bodyguard so that he can carry it. And of course, the butler grabbed remaining coins in hand already. The banana will be needed for that. Don't think emetics will be used there, just much safer to get the disguise downstairs. Of course, some use the gramophone behind this wall with the eye painting.
And yeah, apologies about that. I am back. I just had to quickly fix something, but doesn't seem like I missed too much. Looks like Chris got the kill, and he's just about to get the Tyson kill very soon.
Yep, just the coins and the banana needed for the butler ISO, and we could see a finish in the next 90 seconds.
Yeah, you gotta love this butler grab. So comical and so good.
And now I'm just fairly sure, but I wouldn't know for sure if the banana is in the inventory. But he, of course, got it minutes ago, and not from the villa, probably.
Yeah, very, very nice grab there from Chris. And I'm guessing he also dropped that machete up in the room just for safety,
Yep.
which I love.
He did. And it did not fall through any floors. So after a double check, gets the last kill. And he nicely dragged the bodies. Oh, that's a scary enforcer dot there, but nicely dragged the bodies in a way that opening the door would not be a problem. So with the speedboat keys in hand, he can get to the exit with a 9-minute second try, I assume, to take a 4-0 lead now.
Yeah, very nice from Chris. Didn't have the unfortunate rip like we saw with the first map as well, but so early on it didn't matter too much. And Soviet had a later rip similar to the first map, and it just cost him too much. He was just about to finish his server ISO, or server lower even, for the second time, but again, it takes so much time to set up. Maybe it could have worked if it had been first try, but we'll never know.
Yeah, I would love to see the two different approaches, but it wasn't meant to be this time.
Yeah, super unfortunate, but now we're moving on to my favorite two maps that start with M and end with I in the world of assassination. If I'm not, yeah,
Beautiful way.
Mumbai and Miami, two amazing maps.
Now I half agree with that statement, but I won't go into details.
We know you love Mumbai and fun. It's okay.
I am a big enthusiast of nail or 9 minutes into a run.
What's your favorite strat for Mumbai and for fun? Is it Skywalk, or Skywalk?
Yeah, mine would be Skywalk, but I know that we are getting to the point where the dancer start enthusiast rather, will make it more and more viable with each appearance in a tournament. So yeah, rooting for them, and I will have some strats to learn in the future.
Yeah, the Skywalk start is just so good, to be honest. It's really tough to fully know when to go for other strats, and I don't expect many people to do them live matches because it's not about being the fastest; it's about being the first person out, regardless of how many restarts you have. But yeah, we're probably going to see some. If we do get a cool Maelstrom kill, we might see some alterations on the starting location. But like I said, it is usually Skywalk that we're going to see. You can already see Soviet and Lewis both getting their loadouts ready for that, and GK Punk.
It is most likely to be, yeah, a Skywalk start, but I suppose the more often seen variation is just not isolating the Maelstrom there, and at least the hills, I suppose, where the thugs are located could be a more often seen isolation spot, but yeah, it really comes down to how easy or hard Maelstrom will be.
Yeah, exactly. We love some falling object or consumed poison on the Maelstrom. We'll have to see what we get. We're 2 minutes away as well. I didn't pay out the prediction, and I'll do that now. Apologies with that. I hit my mic over as well. Of the
I will have
issues
to
trying
help
to
with that.
fix.
I will have to help with the predictions. Just I always forget, especially while adminning. But for some other time, I will try to help.
No worries at all. And Chris did win that one. And I get this next one up, and I'll put up for 2 minutes as well. Wins Mumbai.
So this is Group D. 14 teams have entered. Groups A and B have 4 teams in it. So Group D only has 3 entities. Of course, CX Punk and Xbox Master Race. The third one is Boreal Forest of Chromex and Randy, some random person. And with 3 teams, that means everyone plays each other twice. So both teams here have at least 3 more matches to play in the tournament. Exactly 3 in the group stage, of course. And the top 2 teams of 3 will advance to the KO phase.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. So many good players in this Providence Cup. It's so nice to see. I can't wait for some of the knockout matches. They're going to be a lot more tense as well because there's not as much on the line with these, I guess. You still don't want to lose, but you definitely do want to win.
Yeah, you want to accumulate as many points as you can, just in case qualification comes down to that. And of course, so many good individuals, but the teams itself, and this match in particular, Chris and Punk, Soviet and Lewis, are 2 very much veteran teams. They have great synergy. They work together for so many spins and so many tourneys. So yeah, of course, stakes are high. Well, as high as they can be in group stage, but hopefully they still have fun during that. Yeah, Mumbai Spin is here, so running down first, please.
Ooh, so we have Mr. Wazir Kale, Silence Pistol, Queen's Bodyguard, Vanya Shah, Electrocution as the dancer, and Dawood Rangan, Saber as the painter. Well, I mean, if you want a quick Maelstrom kill, that's a quick Maelstrom kill for you as well. I guess Holy Man would be the next quickest one. But yeah, very nice. And a remote Vanya kill as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
See, so many ways to tackle both of these kills because you say it's, of course, quick one. If it was Queen's Guard, of course, you can take the free one from the slums. Queen's Bodyguard, you can get it after the isolation. I don't think it will be a problem either way. But the Vanya Electrocution, I'm curious to see who will take it live and who will take it remote, because Vanya is so easy from the Electrocution strat from the Accidents run.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be a matter of, like you said, if they want to set it up and run over to the tower and get the dancer or something, or grab it when they're over in the laundry area. There's a lot of options here. But yeah, it's going to be tough to manage your time because you kind of want to set up brick, but also be at the tower at the same time.
Yeah.
Funny, that was a remote brick lore.
No madman would ever try that.
No, impossible. It probably wouldn't help too much here anyway, but yeah, it looks like Lewis is already about to get the first kill, whereas Chris and GK Punk haven't even loaded in yet. And Soviet's about to get it as well, so I have to say their planning and getting in is really, really good from Soviet and Lewis.
Yep. Never quite sure about the order of who picked what, but I think CX Punk picked these two maps, Haven and Mumbai, but still Soviet and Louis still look very familiar here as well, and changing to almost synchronized there with ISO followed by the Maelstrom, followed by the Holy Man disguise change. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised they didn't go for the kill when they were there. Seems a bit
The two
surprising.
disguises. You have Queen's Guard in there, but not Queen's Bodyguard, so you can't really get the disguise from nearby.
Oh, of course, I'm mixing them up, am I?
Yeah,
Thinking
Observer
of
wrong kill, Priest start.
yeah, I'd already be resetting. Chat is already out anyway, so yeah.
No, but it won't be any problem just a bit later in the run after. See, that's the interesting part, because if you do Vanya live, this of course means that you don't KO the entourage, and you don't get an easy Queen's Bodyguard. So I'm just really intrigued to see which disguise they go for then. So I suppose after all, it may just be better to kill her remotely.
Yeah, I think remote is the way to go. I think you might as well oh, doing brick already, wow. He's gonna have to run over and get that dancer very quickly, and then that would I feel like it's gonna be a bit of an issue with the timing. I'll never know though. Oh, he is gonna just knock her out and drag her over, it seems. Never mind, I am reading his strat.
Luis's KO was seen in the laundry area. I didn't quite see by whom. It was such a well-contained KO, but still some eyes have set. Someone set his eyes on the KO, unfortunately for Luis.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for him. You hate to see unfortunate he's just somehow catching people, especially that laundry area. There's about 20 people constantly looking around.
So it's a different type of grab, though I'm not sure if. I think he didn't have a brick. I think he lost the brick from the beginning of the run, and he had to go back up to the thug area to get one. But now he also has the brick lure going.
Yeah, been unfortunate there. I have to say, Chris and GK Punk, they are kind of taking a different approach to this. We see Punk going up to get the painter first, whereas looks like Chris went over to get the dancer and now is setting up everything. Both options pretty good. Chris must be a little bit more comfortable with maybe isolating Dawood very late into the brick lore, whereas Punk might just be playing it safe and getting everything for the end of the spin done now.
Yeah, it's even a race between the two of them because it's just such a different approach, and would be hard to say which one is quicker because Chris will get the kill heal early, but Punk is, I think, bringing his. Oh no, he's not not taking painter anywhere since everything is here, and the painter lure will give a very quick Dawood kill shortly.
Yeah, I only just realized that this actually would be a really good spin for tower start because you have everything there and you can just secret out and get in the bathroom and be out in about probably 50-60 seconds, honestly. Once you secret him, you just grab a bodyguard, bring the saber up, knock the painter and go up and kill him. But again, it's having the confidence to go in and do that or just go with the strat that you're really comfortable with, and you definitely got to go with the strat you're comfortable with and not risk something new in the middle of a live match where your teammate depends on you.
Soviets, for Soviet, one of the Queen's bodyguards saw the leg of the Queen's guards, the first two guys you KO there from the lure.
Oh, very
That was the
unfortunate.
enforcer dot about. We've seen the parallel Vanya ISOs on Chris' side, and Chris just wants to get a drink onto Queen's bodyguards, since you will see the skill very shortly on Chris's side, and that after that he will change into. But no, there won't be any disguise changes. There will be a restart. A guard went through the electrified puddle.
Oh wow, that's super unfortunate. Yeah,
I didn't want
well,
to make a deal out of it, but of course it's not the puddle that you see for speedruns, but it is a puddle that Vanya walks very close to, so I didn't think there would be any issue with it. Oh my.
yeah, that's super unfortunate for Chris. I know he's probably a bit annoyed at that, but GK Punk is still in, and I'm sure he's feeling pretty good. He got the Dawood kill in the tower, which you love to see as well. It's not done too often. It's really nice to see that.
Yep, so Vanya Electrocution remaining, and of course the Maelstrom headshot. It's of course not a big deal there after Skywalk ISO. Wonder what Punk is looking for next. Could get a dancer from D tower, but doesn't have a good angle on it.
Well, looks like somebody's being fun in the chat. I need to get rid of that.
Oh, don't hurt Joker.
Of a snowflake.
Oh.
Snowflake.
I'll fix that now. I don't know why, for the life of me, I can't get rid of them. But yeah, it seems like our players are doing okay. Oh lord, probably for the audio as well. Oh, and just say that Soviet gets a side KO on a metal worker, so that's pretty unfortunate.
It also was a preemptive jinx, and whatever the opposite of that, because Chris did a restart just a couple of seconds before you said that. So my top half, yeah, your top half is Chris and Soviet on a fresh restart, and currently they are on the bubble. Of course, the points are given to the second finishers. Doesn't matter who finishes first of the four people. Punk and Lewis both doing well. That is true when both players of the team have to finish. So long way to go still.
Yeah, very long way to go. It's been a very back and forth between them with their rips right now, but yeah, it's tough to say because both players do need to get out. So if we have somebody in the lead, it doesn't mean much if their opponent isn't doing great. Oh, and will Lewis get this snail ISO? Didn't go for the food vendor. Oh, there's a lot going on there for Lewis.
Yeah, since the kill is silent, I think now this is contained, and that KO'd food vendor won't cause any issues. What he did is he learned the first one, the one people usually KO separately. So that was a bit unconventional there, but I think Luis got this.
Yeah, should be okay. We'll have to get the Saber out as the painter if he wants to do it in one trip, but not too bad getting out of this tower construction area. Meanwhile, though, GK Punk is one of the furthest players into a spin right now. He's about 7 minutes in, and he's about to get the dancer, it seems like.
Carrying the car battery all the way so that he doesn't lose it.
Yeah, very nice. From Punk, yeah, things are very close to coming together for him now. Just has a couple of kills left, and well, he can't go down with the car battery like that.
Yep, he doesn't have it now in his hand.
Oh, I hope he realized. I don't know if he did. We'll have to see if that comes back to bite him with a bit of a time loss.
See, this might just be the map with the most car batteries, so he might already be thinking of an alternative. I couldn't think of a second car battery, but
yeah, I definitely
they
couldn't
might be
think of
talking
one.
about one.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they do.
Oh, no, he's coming back. Yeah, it's just he did nothing wrong or special there, right? Just one of the agility actions made him lose the car battery and just never realize unless
Oh, and
he
he
wants
isn't going
that
back
one.
for it, or is he going? Oh my!
He didn't. Oh, he needs the coins. He's looking at the same puddle which Chris used, but he's going to help Vanya go there with the coins. Still no car battery.
What did Soviet just do? He snailed 7 people. The 2 guards that wait, he managed to get all of it. How did he get Vanya to drop last? Oh, and one of the bodies was found, which is very bad. Probably Rima wasn't there yet.
Are we? See if they don't drop at the same time, but just with one difference, then of course there will be some bodies found. Oh, but yeah, that's the NPC going on there.
Yeah, and I hope he knocks out that guard because they probably will find Vanya in the grass, right? They probably have some
They
kind of
have
VIP.
absolutely. So the longer he waits, the more chances are there. Oh, and he's just going to let them wake up. I think that's the rip in the making. You're right. Hopefully wrong,
Yeah,
of
and
course.
I also think Lewis, I just saw on his screen that Dawood was found, which I can't imagine a circumstance where that's not going to keep red guns. Unless he tranked them, but I still think you can get ripped for tranks, right?
I didn't see the Dawood eye, so oh, it was the snail. Yeah. Why would it be found so late?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe an item was left somewhere, but I'm almost certain that a body was found, and it really did look like Dawood and somebody on kind of sand or soil. So we'll have to see if that comes back to bite him in a minute when he heads out there.
Luis is confident so far, but it's really hard to say. And
Yeah, super tough to say right now. And Chris is even doing a pretty messy train yard right now. He had to deal with a couple of extra guards. Oh, and he's waiting for Vanya to walk into the puddle again because he's waiting by this queen's bodyguard disguise.
yeah, this was his first try, and it's different from the meta, but for this purpose, it's actually the best case scenario because just uses your chunks on the bodyguards, doesn't disrupt Vanya, who then goes into the puddle, and whatever chaos ensues here, because I think at least Rima will be panicking.
And yeah, I'm just looking at
Nobody's going to be found.
GK Punk. He had a different approach to who's bumping the three followers of Vanya. So Vanya would just storm off ahead, and it did work for him. So that's one of the toughest kills, it seems, down for
And
CX
Luis with the
Punk.
rip, and Luis with the rip at 8.5 minutes, he just couldn't get the saber through the barge. He was allowed there, but carrying the saber was not allowed, of course, and the barge security, the local security, got him spotted, which is really heartbreaking because Dawood was still in position. It was he was laying down there, so
Yeah.
I'm really not sure what the picture-in-picture was about.
Well, I was worried for a moment that GK Punk was going to take the Queen's guard over to the Maelstrom, but he just used it as a buffer disguise to get in to get one. So thankfully, he's going to deal with that. He's probably pretty in the clear now.
Yeah, not much remaining for Punk. A lot remaining for the team because Chris is now 30 seconds in, but Lewis as well. So it's now between different players, but still a very close three-way race between CX Punk, Exos Master Race, and the draw option. And now Soviet did a restart.
Yeah, super important for Soviet. Now the whole team is pretty much back to square one. We're just about to hit the halfway point as well. So with a map like Mumbai, you kind of only have one good attempt in 15 minutes, in my opinion. If it's a tough spin, especially as you can see, GK Punk is 12 minutes in already.
Yeah, these three players cannot go late, cannot rip late in their runs anymore. They can, of course, have early restarts. And, oh, that's a long load by Soviet. Not a lot of options, not a lot of runs remaining.
Yeah, hopefully they can get through it. You know, Chris pretty much has the strat down, but he's just getting a bit unlucky with certain things after the Vanya kill, but I'm sure he'll get running. Same with Soviet and Lewis. They do both have the idea there. It's just I think we saw the saber was the one issue for Lewis, I think. Trying to get it through the construction yard, but I know he's going to be able to figure it out this time.
Yeah, I feel like all four players have shown a strat. We just have to see them through to the end.
GK
And
Punk could not get the shot to connect to Maelstrom's head there. He kept going invisible, and yeah, that's their first player done with Mumbai, which definitely is a bit morale boosting for Chris.
yeah, not sure what the second player can do in this situation. What will Punk do at this point? Just help Chris the same way, or will he be more involved as he will root for his teammate to finish and take these 2 points?
Yeah, it's tough to say. Sometimes you never know whether to like talk to your teammate and try and motivate them, or just stay quiet and leave them do their thing. So I'm sure they have some recipe to how they. But yeah, I'm sure Chris is pretty confident in his strat. He just, like we saw with the other two players, they're getting caught up in these tiny things that everybody's aware of. It's just wrong place, wrong time, the way it's happening for them.
Yeah, early runs as well, so not a whole lot of new things to talk about. Soviet has started the Brickler. Louis still in the skywalk area, of course, 35 seconds in. And like Chris is getting further away from those puddles, so I don't think the brick has been used there. Wonder what he's going on in there.
Yeah, curious what happened there for Chris. He was just like hiding up on the ledge just to get some like proxy or something, but he threw the brick in and he's in Dancer Disguise and he has the car battery, which is conveniently placed next to the brick pot. So we're probably going to see this setup again that we saw Chris do a few times. Oh, and Lou or Soviet. They get caught with Vanya, but I think he's actually okay. Has to deal with this one guard that's coming out that heard the KO.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was ready to call it a rip because it was really weird how Rima was handled there, but she saw all the bodies and then Vanya saw the Rima KO. So yeah, as you said, it's only one target who's noticing anything. And I think this is, for me, this is safer now because no one else will be aware of these bodies.
Yeah.
Unlike the other run, which we felt he was on a timer.
Yeah, very well said. It's definitely a lot safer. Definitely a bit tougher to figure it out, but he did get it, and I'm interested to see now if they can clean it up. They do kind of need a rip, in essence, from Chris. They don't know that, of course, but Chris is looking pretty good time-wise compared to the other two players.
Yeah, Chris feels closest to the finish, and that would mean, of course, the 6-0. Gets the execution.
Very nice from Chris. Now he just has to Dalwood kill, which is a bit annoying, but we'll have to see how it goes.
With this timing, the fact that he got Dancer before the Bickler means that if he were to use the snail, which is the most often used strategy at this point, and probably the easiest.
Lewis accidentally barely caught the guard's peripheral vision, knocking out the other guard, so he had to let out some rage, which is understandable. It is going to be a restart for him, which is not great for the Xbox Master Race.
10 minutes and 45 to go. Louis not confident enough, or not confident anymore that he can finish. Oh, and so it gets into a gun punch either, but I think they are now talking that they won't finish in time, so they can't win. And they'll just, well, wait for the time to run out and hope the score to change to 5-1, not 6-0.
Yeah, exactly. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it is a tough map to do in that time if you're not too comfortable.
It's very much part of the game. 30-minute Mumbai can go either way. So it's
Oh,
definitely not down to the players.
Chris has a bit of a problem. He has two food vendors still up, and he threw an item, but none of them went for it. And now Howard is just almost waiting. Oh,
Yeah. With two food vendors, this is going to be really hard to manage. Goes for the...
Oh, it does have a trank. So I think he actually is okay now. You better get rid of this food vendor very quickly. Even tranks Dawood, which, I mean, safety points for Chris there. I do like that.
Basically, the last trank he needed. I mean, not quite actually, because the painter still is preferred with one more.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be able to improv it, but yeah, it would have been nice to have it for Painter. For sure. So he's going to do a bit of dragging, just to be safe. And yeah, he does have to get the Saber out as well, as the Painter, which we saw, I think, Soviet rip to? Lewis, I think, actually.
Yeah, Louis ripped as he was transporting the saber through the barge area. So he got the disguise, but afterwards there were troubles. Chris has the briefcase though, so at least the exfiltration could be easier. With the saber.
Yeah, very good point, actually. To bring the briefcase, I like that Chris is playing so safe as well. It's definitely working in his favor. I realize I should probably get some nice game audio from their stream.
Not him.
And I realize they have comms on as well. Which I suppose I'll leave on just for a moment, because why not? Hopefully the
Sure.
players don't mind. But they're not talking too much, so I wouldn't worry about talking over them.
It's a very valuable aspect of any team roulette competition, just being able to listen to these teams, of course. They are very well versed so far, and at least synergy, so just to listen to them, either teams.
The actual bullet impact. And he heard something. He's calling or something. I don't know.
Oh, I saw he does have a trank actually. How is? Am I crazy, or does this guy have unlimited ammo or something?
Wow, okay.
What's crazy is that the painter didn't see anything. But yeah, two chunks were used, and so that's 4 darts and 3 of them on the double isolation. This is the last
7
one.
minutes.
Very nice. And Chris
Should be
then
good, I
with the
think,
management.
maybe. Unless they just finished right now.
And yeah, I can hear I turned them down for now, but I can hear Chris and Punk or mainly Punk saying maybe the opponents are going to finish very soon, but little did they know that they are pretty in the clear. They can take their time as well, but should expect it in the next 2 minutes, probably less. I guess they could even go for taxi if they had the coins on him, which he might do, because I know Chris was trying to pick him up, I think, earlier in the tailor's room.
This is a very particular point of a spin. Of obviously longer spins, we see it more often. And I think from the Dawood isolation, Chris knew that this is the last attempt, because at that point there were 8.5 minutes remaining. Of course, we see that it's going to exceed 10 minutes. So Chris knew that the only way he can finish is by the safest approach there, and from that he just didn't want to say he slowed down, but he made things even safer. So that's the reason why you see this finish, of course.
Yeah, hopefully now this lock-on doesn't. Oh my god. Actually, for a moment, it had me. But yeah, that's going to be a finish from Chris. Those bodies aren't going to be found if they haven't been found already. Yeah, super nice. 6-0 for CX Punk MkIII going into the final 2v2, which is going to be, like I said, our other M map, Miami, which we're somewhat of an enthusiast for. Very, very nice from Chris and Punk. Curious if they're
The run around the map.
It's impossible for me to commentate if I listen to them. It's just so valuable. Talking about the in-game time differences, of course, Chris had a couple more restarts, but 10.5 minutes beating Punk's 13.5, and I think the 6-0 is now updated.
Yeah, very nice. And still a chance for them to grab 2 points, Soviet and Lewis. So hopefully they feel a bit confident going into this one.
Yeah, every map counts here, so no one should be discouraged anyway the first maps go. Still coming back to the first match yesterday, we've seen the Roulette Professionals, Rocky and Nezuko, sorry. After 3 maps lost, they still took those 2 points at the end, and who knows, that might just be the difference in 2 weeks.
Exactly, yeah. Play every single map like it's the most important one, because when it comes to a tiebreaker, they're the ones that will be checking. But yeah, Miami, which could get some really nice ones for this.
Yeah. For you, everything spin is a nice spin. Or what wouldn't you like to say? I guess I'll ask the opposite this time.
I don't like fetches, I suppose. We had like Starfish for Sierra, and then I don't know what even an equivalent opposite the thing would be for this. I don't know, maybe like Twack Driver or something for Robert. You'd just be annoyed that you have to go back and forth and doesn't have much stuff you can change about, unless it was like a gun kill for Robert, and we could do that cross map snipe, which we've seen a couple of people try in the past. Oh, and is Punk going for? Oh, I thought Punk was going for a grab I knew of, and I was going to be super impressed.
Is that a roulette resource?
Yeah, actually, I think that was the one I was thinking of, where you throw an item in that corner after bumping a lady, and you can trank that. I think it's the Aeon driver in the corner of the room, and nobody sees him.
Yeah, I love that. Not really exploit, but the way was Heidi from Bangkok. He's the closest to that lure, closest to that spot. Sorry. And then if you just bump into her, and of course the Aeon driver will investigate, and you can just
Yeah, super nice. And also, I should pay the prediction. And yeah, I have to say, it wasn't actually as. It was a tiny bit split, but not as much as I was expecting. I thought it would be. Would be a lot more 50-50. Prediction then for the next one.
Oh goodness! Just going to bring up another point from the Mumbai, and remember when we mentioned that Soviets went up the ladder to get a brick from the thugs? That was apparently because the bricklayer didn't register from the Skywalk brick.
The
Had to go take a second brick.
I'm curious with that. Yeah, maybe the only circumstance I can think that maybe happened was the brick hit the lip of the pot before it went in, because that can cause issues. I'm not too sure. I'd have to look that back. But yeah, that's super unfortunate if that's what happened to the Soviet.
Sounds like it. It's just a very cursed 30 minutes. Was far from nice spin, so I'm sure not many have liked that Mumbai so far, but yeah, we've got the two finishers in the end. Can only hope that well, Miami will be shorter, has one fewer targets, and it's not really possible to have 10 plus minute spins on here, so should be a fun last map, sorry.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how it goes. How you doing as well, Mando? Glad to see you here. Came for the good map. I don't blame you. So the match starts now. And we have our final spin, of course. Since I took the last one, you can take this one for fun.
Thank you. Just observe, just imagine a tourney, Miami only, but in crazy concept. Anyway, Sierra Knox, Explosion Accident, Pair Rider, Robert Knox, Silenced AR as Cowboy Mechanic.
Oh, pretty clean, pretty fast. I suppose there's a bit of decisions to make. How you want to do that Explosion Accident. Of course, there's a propane in that side room, so we're probably going to see that. Some quick waiter, I'm guessing, some sugar as fast as possible. I do think, am I right in saying that Chris is looking at food stand, which is an interesting start.
Yeah. See, all these starts, the way everything is just so close to each other. The Pair Rider, the free Cow Mechanic, the Cow Mechanic start, the waiter start, which is closest to Pair Rider. I feel like anything is fine as long as you load in quickest, and I think Chris will look for the quickest ever. Sorry, the quickest start with the sugar lure. And that would be technically this one.
Oh, would it really? This is actually faster than Waiter, you think?
This is faster than Waiter by a couple of seconds, but I've seen you do Waiter a lot, and two players at the bottom will do Waiter as well, and they can get the agency pickup quicker. So I think it's a very interesting balance that I would say that with the agency pickup being a factor, Punk and Lewis might be a couple of seconds quicker.
Yeah, and I guess the Pale Rider as well is kind of a big thing for it. Mainly, it would have been nice to see them do the really fast, get the cams, leg the waiter to get in really quickly, but shouldn't matter too much because they do have the disguise, be able to tuck away their assault rifle into the briefcase as well. Yeah, Punk and Lewis pretty much neck and neck right now.
Beautiful symmetry between those two. Chris, of course, a couple of seconds earlier, but he has this diversion, and it's not slower, it's different really. The fact that he's just going to isolate her differently might be a run and gun even. I'm just curious to see. A Soviet currently last, but was the 20 seconds should not be the actual reason for anything there.
Yeah, so much going on here with cutscenes and knockouts and the car getting sugar in its petrol tank 4 times over. But yeah, I'm curious to see
So many
if they
boss pit
all
stops.
go for that side room, like you said. Um, Pale Rider is, of course, a peekaboo disguise as well, so not too much of a difference. Chris is going to be the first to get the peekaboo with that faster sugar strat, and he has the propane there, so maybe he could do a remote if he wanted to. I know the spin definitely allows for some sort of remote trigger device.
Yeah, he had the micro taser and could see more very soon. And also another fun fact
Oh,
about this spin. Yeah, go for it.
it is the cool mechanic that is downstairs as well next to the Pale Rider, correct?
That's exactly what I wanted to say, that the
Yeah.
two free disguises next to each other. And I think this is why Chris would be looking to get this remote, and this is why others could be as well. Propanes and tasers are flying on both sides. Chris tries to stay green. Yeah, waits out the cycle. Soviet with a restart because he's seen through, well, not through, but through the open door, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I have to say, Chris's thing came together then with that Pale Rider grab, I have to say. And yeah, that's really unfortunate for Soviet as well. A rip on Miami is a lot more unforgiving than any other map because we do see a lot of players just cruise through it. But Chris and GK almost neck and neck, even though they both had different strats, going up the stairs at literally the same second.
Yeah, should be careful not to race each other. Obviously, they aren't, but they will be happy to know that they are very close together. I think pushing themselves more and more on the way. Luis very
Yeah,
closely behind.
I think Chris took a pretty good line there to get over to Robert, so he would be winning the race if they were racing. But yeah, Lewis is looking pretty good as well. But of course, his teammate with that rip, it's going to be pretty major rip to have, and we kind of have to hope for something to happen with Chris or GK Punk, which definitely could happen. Neither of them have camera troubles yet, though, which is always a good thing to have. As dealing with that room can, it's probably the most likely way you're going to rip if you don't mess up the Robert KO when he's going into the room.
Yeah, sort of straightforward, but there are always tiny things that can go wrong. And okay, that's nothing different from Chris. Just wanted to get out the AR, which Punk has already done. You can't bring your briefcase up from floor, but you could do that with large melee items. And so now Punk takes the lead by a couple of seconds. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, very nice from Punk here. And Chris, of course, he did shoot an out up earlier as well, so probably see how Robert is dealt with by Punk first. But yeah, they're playing very well right now. Very in sync and very nice to see.
Yeah, Blue is just barely behind. I would say some of this is the loading time, so it's barely any difference between Chris and Punk there. But you can see the in-game time also being very similar means that Luis is just a bit behind. But of course, what really matters is that Soviet unfortunately had that one rip.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks good for Chris. He was the first to get the kill, I think, but he just dragged after the fact. Then we just see a quick drag and then grab the disguise and shoot the door. I suppose the door could still be an issue, but they're both on the same timing and the guard isn't there, so that's looking clean as hell from Chris and Punk right now. Very nice. Even taking the safe shot as well for the gate.
Yep, one finish, two finish, 5:11 from Punk, and once you see the time from Kiss, not that it really matters, but 5:15 there, so a couple seconds difference, and the finish as well. Before even Soviet finished, Luis finished, sorry. Oh, and he has to rip as well.
Ah, that's unlucky then for Lewis. Even in the circumstance Soviet didn't rip, still would have been pretty close. And yeah, I have to say CX Punk and MkIII, they played amazing there. There wasn't much you could have done against that. And they do take 8 whole points from Xbox Master Race, which I'm sure they're very happy with. Nice little way to kick off your group stage, but of course they are going to be playing again at some point, and there's going to be revenge. It's the only difference between now and then. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, what do you think overall? In for fun, both teams then.
It was a great match. I think this sync at the last perfectly summarized CX Punk's performance. Just a very dominant 8-0. Mumbai, of course, is one of those maps that could have gone either way. Let me just quickly look at the other ones to see some. Oh, of course, the Haven, the different approaches there. I would have really loved to see Soviet finish that server run.
Yeah.
And was a Punk just so optimized there. It's a close match. 8-0, just of course a bit unfortunate to see, but still a rematch and still 3 group stage matches to go. So way to go, both of them.
Yeah, really well played from both of them. And like we saw Soviet or Lewis saying in the chat, they had such unlucky rips. Like with the Bricklin not working, there's just not much you can do for that. But yeah, we will check what other matches are upcoming. I have to copy over your audio. Hopefully, yeah, should be good. Yeah, so that was Group D, as we saw. So we had Chris and GK Punk play against the Xbox Master Race, which was Soviet and Lewis. And then for the Boreal Forest, these names are amazing. I have to check who it is. So that's right, yeah, Randy and Chrome X. So 2 amazing players as well. So they're going to be playing against either one of the teams you saw today very soon. I suppose with that, we'll see if any of those matches are actually organized. Alrighty, so we had a couple today, and today is the 18th. So yeah, the next ones we have are tomorrow, 3 p.m. I assume that's, I don't even know if that's CEST or my standard time.
It's your time, so it is 4 CEST.
Yeah, 4 CEST then. Tomorrow we have 2 RR champions, which is going to be Joker and Fanium. One of those matches was meant to take place today, but not that one. They're going against Rusty Ebram, which I'm guessing is FE203 and Ebramadi. Then we have
cryptic name. Sorry.
Yeah, their names are amazing. I love the names they have and the team's names. Then myself and then for fun going against Mu and Papier Presse, which is I'm excited for that.
No biggie, yeah.
Some fun maps as well. It's probably one of the only Ambrose matches you're going to see as well. I don't think there's many Ambrose picks to my knowledge.
Or as well, but it's been generally a very rare map pick, so yeah, curious to see.
And yeah, after that, we don't have any more scheduled matches, but I know a lot of them are going to come in very soon. Yeah, a lot of good players coming up. Oh my god, just looking at them. But yeah, I'm excited for it. And there's so many teams that still have to play. And the more I think about it, there's so many matches. And Mando's challenging you to a 1v1 in New York. Oh, he's quaking.
Maybe eventually we'll find some.
Yeah,
we will have, of course, 2 matches against them. So
true, we'll have to pick it against them then, just so they can ban it. Now that I said that.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess
they can't ban it from both of our matches. That's the good part of the 3-team groups.
Oh my god, you're right. That's beautiful. Yeah, we have New York and Miami against them. Let's go.
Can't avoid fail, but yeah, just really looking forward to these next 2 weeks, and I hope that the teams as well. There's some good matches already. So
yeah, amazing matches. They've been so good to kick it off so far, and definitely going to be fun. I'm excited to see him, and we have so many good maps coming up. And yeah, I think with that as well, we probably will leave it at that, and I'm going to check what fellow Hitman people are on, as I always do, if there is anybody online. Who we got?
Yeah. I'm Blaze.
Looks like we have Bookie. I don't know if we have any people playing Hitman though. Let me see. Grandma plays a game. Who's playing Hitman? Alrighty. I'll just head people over to... I don't even know if there's anybody we can... Yeah, we'll go for this person. They look pretty good. And yeah, I want to thank you as well, Infrafun, for co-casting and adminning.
Yeah, glad I could join. A great match. Thanks for inviting.
No worries at all. Yeah, we'll head over to the raid then. And GG to both players, or not both players, both teams. Chris, GK Punk, Soviet and Lewis. And thanks everybody as well for tuning in. And we'll catch you, like I said, tomorrow at 4 p.m. CST for Joker Fanium, FE and Ebramadi playing. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.